The next one is a doozy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I am Stephen M, back on your screen again, and I am the ringmaster of this little circus right here. And we're gonna get into some of these
conspiracies that will boogie woogie on your brain.
It'll boogie woogie on your brain.
But we're going deep this time. This is about episode 22, so we're doubling down, baby. No surface level, hey, look at Beyonce, she did this. None of this nonsense, man. We're going deep this time. I dug deep, we're going deep.
Life's a garden, dig it.
Balls deep, baby, I'm telling you. Now listen, some of these dudes are a little bit monotone that we're going to get into, and it might sound boring, but activate your ear holes and listen up. And before we do that, real quick, super quick, just do me a favor. Let's go into this as a little family unit, you know what I mean? So do yourself a favor.
You have to treat yourself like you matter.
And just give that little sub button a beep boop down there. Just go ahead and just nestle it. Just a little beep boop. A little beep boop.
Beep boop. Beep boop on the nose.
Okay, all right. I'm telling you, bro, I'd absolutely do it for you. I know I look like a but I'm just like Jessica Rabbit, man.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
All right, I appreciate you doing that for me. If anybody ever gives you any, go ahead and hit me up, and I got your back like...
Does your mother sew? Boom! Get her to sew that!
All right.
Come on, Bretta.
A new world order. His son, George W. Bush, has to finish the job that his father started 10 years ago. Now, when I was in America, I don't often say this, but I might as well say it here tonight. My driver, who has carried all the prophetic preachers across America before me, told me, he said, every time we get to a bridge, you watch. And we went through 38 states in 2.5 weeks, and every bridge we went near, there were men working underneath it, putting in steel girders. He said, that is for the United Nations tanks that are going to come in and take over America shortly. Is everybody clear what I'm saying tonight? This goes on tape.
Is everybody clear with what he's saying tonight? Now, he said under George Bush, so this is clearly older, and, well, that didn't happen. So I can see that it's easy to say, well, clearly this is bullshit, but how long does something take? I mean, clearly a lot of things happened, and a lot of things started with 9/11. One could theorize, and a lot has changed since 9/11. I know certainly as far as the propaganda goes, when Obama signed whatever he signed that made it okay for the news and the media to spread lies, nothing's been the same ever since that happened, that's for sure. Something happened in 2020. It slips my mind now, but look into it. Something crazy happened, and boy, nothing's ever been the same then. A lot of transfers of power went on for whatever reason went on. We're going to get into something later, into another video that dives into that a little bit. So just for the fact that he said George Bush, and this happened clearly a while ago, doesn't negate any legitimacy to what the man is saying. And notice, I don't know who he is, but look at the board in the background. He's got 666 Illuminati, so I don't know. He's a guy that knows stuff.
The whole of America will be inundated with United Nations troops. In fact, they're training now in Alamogordo, New Mexico. My son and I were over there some time ago. We're building a church up in the Rocky Mountains, and I dug out the foundations. I put that in. My son's a carpenter. I said, I'm going back to New Zealand now, son. I've had enough. You carry on, build your church. So I went home. I left him to it. He rang me when I got home. He said, Dad, the same day you left, he said, I went down to the restaurant run by a Mexican fella called Julio. He said, there I was. Excuse me. He said, there I was sitting ready for my meal. And the waiter came up to me and he said, do you know that there are 250,000 United Nations troops from Germany and Russia training in Alamogordo, New Mexico, at the Air Force Base there? He said, my dad told me that. He said, it's true. And very shortly, what they're going to do, George Bush is going to send the American troops out of the country to all these trouble spots called the axis of evil. And while he's got his own troops out of the country, the United Nations will take over America and imprison Christians and imprison patriots, because they're going to introduce their one world government. Anybody who is against it will be in prison. So I guess I'd be a candidate, wouldn't I?
So I do remember them talking about this stuff a long time ago. The axis of evil, and they're going to do the New World Order then. I don't remember the part where he said that all the troops are going to be scattered around the world and to give other people time to come in. that's news to me at this point, and clearly that didn't happen. I don't know. Maybe something foiled their plans, something went awry, because if they were going to do it, they would have done it then. And realistically, I said about some legitimacy to what he said. Boy, our infrastructure isn't so good. I don't know if they're going to want it. Well, they are building. Oh, shit. The only thing Joe Biden did was talk about the infrastructure. I just had a moment with you guys. Think about that. Yeah, maybe they changed it up. They're like, we're not going to do it now. We'll do what we're going to do and, bang up the Middle East and do whatever we're doing there. Do some stuff with some oil, whatever. We'll kick this can down the road a little bit. We got plans here coming up and around the 2020 era. And then we'll go ahead and we'll get the country all divided up.
All right, this is getting serious. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Holy Christmas.
Have everybody fighting amongst themselves. There'll be a civil war. No one will get along. You couldn't get this country to get along on anything right now. And then strike when the iron's hot, baby. Woo.
Jews in order to radical. Don't you stick things in my face.
A pro-Israeli advocate knocked a camera out of the hands of Allison Weir, president of the Council for the National Interest Foundation. The group just finished their press conference on what they call unjustifiable U.S. aid to Israel. The two sides met when the press club scheduled a pro-Israeli news conference to follow, held in the same room. The altercation
So I get this is just something that was on the news, apparently. I mean, I don't know what news. I wouldn't watch mainstream news. Press TV, I've never even, maybe that's a thing now or whatever it may be. It is just something that's on the news, and probably most people wouldn't have seen it. But what this dude is about to say is crazy.
Illustrates heightened tensions on differing views regarding America's relationship with Israel. The Council for the National Interest Foundation wants Americans to know how much of their tax dollars are going to Israel.
$3 trillion. That's including a massive amount of direct money to Israel, then a lot of hidden costs.
CNIF alleges Israel receives so much aid and special treatment because the U.S. Congress is controlled by AIPAC, America's pro-Israeli lobby. Executive Director Philip Girardi says Israel spends a lot of money on U.S. elections.
There are many Israeli PACs, and they do give a lot of money very selectively to congressmen that they want to support.
The Council for the National...
Very selectively, huh? Huh? Who's buying these elections around here?
I want to know right now on this podcast, who is running this country?
Interest Foundation says many members of Congress fear if they don't always side with Israel, that they will face retaliation in their own re-election campaigns.
If a congressman crosses the Israel lobby by voting against aid for Israel or voting against some legislation that Israel favors, they very often will find that the next time they're running for office, there will be a candidate put up against them who is very well funded.
Giraldi is a former CIA counterterrorism expert. He questions why America gives aid to Israel when Israel conducts more espionage for profit against the U.S. than any other U.S.-friendly country.
They steal military technology. They steal information that is useful for telecommunications.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel Karen Katalski works at the Pentagon and says Israel receives
Karen needs to get a haircut, let's be honest.
Preferential treatment.
We do not question what the Israelis want.
Katowski believes America is beginning to take more interest in U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East, in large part due to tough economic times. More and more Americans want to know where their hard-earned tax dollars are going.
Man, I don't know who that Girardi guy is, but that needs looked into. If you know him personally, go ahead and let me know what you know about that guy personally. I can't imagine anybody does, but the fact that they said that out loud, and of course, there's never election interference or anything like that, and nothing's rigged or anything like that. So don't question anything. Even though a local election here, right in my state, I don't know, there was some kind of election interference, and there was fake ballots, and it got caught, and it was on CBS News. I just saw that this morning. But that's the only time that's ever happened in history. Oh, in 2016 when Trump got in. Other than that, no other times. That is for sure.
Maybe what they'll do this next time is to really disrupt the actual election. Shut down the servers that you send results to. Interfere with the operation of voting machines, because still too many of them are linked to the internet. So we are still very vulnerable.
I'm just saying that for, YouTube's sake. But where's all the money going? Why there? Why there? It's weird. I wonder what Kyrie Irving would think about that.
One-on-one, Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
And this is one of the things, like some of these videos, I'm not going to be able to talk too much. I got to keep it. Got to make them feel you before you make them kill you.
You got to make them feel you before you make them feel you.
I'm too small of a channel to be out here horse playing. You know what I mean? But ask Kyrie Irving what he thinks. That's all I got to say about that.
With all the people killed or cleared out of the Gaza Strip, the U.S. and Israel can finally build that canal they've been talking about for 50 years. Yeah, a canal that goes right through Israel. But isn't there already one there called the Suez Canal? Yeah, but that's controlled by Egypt. A lot of shipping cargo goes through the Suez Canal. And like I just said, Egypt controls it. Plus, because of that canal, Egypt brings in about $743 million a month. That's every month. So if for some reason the Gaza Strip was available...
He says that's every month. I thought he was going to say year for one. Every month is just... That number alone so astronomical you can't even wrap your head around it. $743 million. It's crazy because in politics they throw these numbers out there, and they just throw it around, and like common people, we can't even comprehend it. Oh, they're spending, $800 million on the military budget and sending $10 million to Pakistan for gender studies, and then blah, blah, blah. And you just like these numbers. That's another $1 billion to Ukraine. $1 billion. You could rebuild all of Detroit. All of Detroit. It's just so much. I mean, when you think about it'd be like, $200 for a plane ticket, and you still got a lot of fucking money. I'm not doing that math off the top of my head, but you just can't even wrap your head around. And that's a month. And think how much you're skimming off the top. Think about how much. That's what they're reporting.
There'd be nothing blocking Israel's own canal. Coincidentally, did you know there's a United States submarine deployed to the Suez Canal? Or maybe it's just floating around in there. So I'm just saying, if Gaza wasn't there anymore, then the United States government and Israel could build this canal that they've been talking about for 50 years. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Shabadoo Bushkis, Shabadoo.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those things I'm not getting into too much. I don't know anything about it. I don't know any of those people. I've never been there.
I don't know shit about fuck.
So as far as support this, support that, stand with this, stand with that, I don't know. I stand on my front porch. I sit in my house. I'm not, who am I to say?
Who the fuck is you? Pussy, who the fuck is you? Come on, who the fuck is you? Who the fuck is you? Who the fuck is you?
Just like all these kids running around college campuses should also know they don't, or nobody to say. Unless you're from there. Or a neighboring country, know somebody, da-da-da-da. But all these opinions getting thrown around like you know what you're talking about, people should shut up. But as far as governments and shiciness and people that run the world, what my man Cheesehead over there said, that would make sense. because it's not like they care about people. It's not like the government cares about people at all. The people who run the world care about people at all. They don't care about people. They'll wipe some people out to get what they need. Believe that. Okay, this video is a little bit long. This is one of the most mind-blowing things I've ever heard, to be honest with you. And I just came across this today for the first time ever, and I assume it's real. It sounds like Bill Gates. See right there, it says Bill Gates. Wait till you hear what this guy says. I mean, really wait till you hear what this guy says.
Excuse me, on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics. And this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. We have individuals who are not particular.
And if you see the date down there, this is the whole way back back in 2005. So a couple years after 9/11 happened, and you'll hear what he's talking about here in a second.
Particularly fundamentalist, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach.
What you see here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data.
What he's saying is, after 9/11, they were talking about, everybody's, all these, I assume Muslims, people in the Middle East, I'm guessing, they'll get some type of sickness, like a flu, and then we'll end up giving them some vax, and it'll change their brain waves to take away the part of their brain that has them so involved in their faith. Because you hear what the guy from the CIA said, so it's going to stop them from going blowing things up. Like that's what they're talking about right now.
This next slide, here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether I put a bullet in their head?
So the data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing, and I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan. The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will have
normal person. Pro said normal. Can't be a fanatic about something. I mean, obviously don't be violent, but I mean, I like some sports. I'm not a fanatic.
Major effects in the Middle East.
How would you suggest that this is going to be dispersed? The aerosol?
Well, so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses such as flu or rhinoviruses, and we believe that that's a satisfactory way to get the exposure of the largest part of the population. Most of us, of course, have been exposed to both of those viruses, and we're quite confident that this will be a very successful.
Tell me that ain't the craziest shit you ever heard in your life. Tell me that ain't the crazy.
Say it to my face.
That ripped my head right off when I heard that. I could not. I mean, he was talking like that then. God only knows. I mean, you probably already know that he went to India and was it India? I think maybe Africa as well. Maybe some other places, and was experimenting with vaccines on kids and this and that, and it did not go well. I think he's banned from, I feel like it's India or some place like that. Either way, I mean, the fact that he was even talking about that, they were discussing this back after a couple years after 9/11. You know what we could do to make these people normal? We'll just go ahead and spread some kind of, respiratory illness and yada, 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 boom, 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 yada, 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 like that commercial with George Costanza on right now, yada, yada, yada. So, if they were talking about that then, wonder if they did it? We don't even know. They might have done it. And, just didn't tell us about it. Maybe something did go on over there. We don't even know about it. He said Afghanistan. So who knows? Maybe they did. But if that was their plan then, I mean, hell, they had years to sit around and think, what we could do to them. I think the whole plan here was to make everybody love Taylor Swift. Just kidding. I just can't understand how all of a sudden everybody loves Taylor Swift.
Oh my God.
But I said in a video just not too long ago that I feel like they're brainwashing people into things just to see how their brain waves work. Now, I know people personally that love Taylor Swift that didn't get the old beep boop, beep boop. So that couldn't have been it right there. But the question is, what did make the people that got that thing here just a couple of years ago, what's it doing to them? I have a couple theories. One, you feel like it's way hotter all the time, and then you're going to complain about the artist formerly known as global warming. Now it's called climate change. But, because you're just going to feel warm all the time. Like, boy, all summer long, boy, this is the hottest summer on record. It is? It feels pretty fucking mild to me, but okay. I mean, it's not. It's absolutely not. But a lot of people thought, boy, it's awfully hot out here. Is that right? Is it just because I told you it was? Or is there something in you that's heating you up a little bit there, bucko? Is it making you crazy? Is it making you just want to dye your hair pink and care what y'all think and lip sync? No, I'm just kidding. Dye your hair purple and just be mad and scream and States of America. I don't know. It's an ornery bunch, that's for sure, that got that puppy. Not all of them, I guess, but maybe it has adverse effects. The next one is a doozy. So you see that there. I never saw, and it's from a documentary, Illuminati, Bilderberg West, Bohemian. That feels like something to watch right there. What they're about to get into here for a second is from that.
Or just go and research the word Cenomix. Okay, Cenomix is a transnational company that creates flavor enhancement for products for transnational companies like Pepsi, Kraft, Nestle, Campbell's. And what they've been doing is that they grabbed kidney cells from human aborted fetuses. So they grab these kidney cell lines, las células sanguíneas de los riñones de bebés abortados, and in laboratory they replicate these cells and they put them in all your products. Lo ponen en los productos. What products are we talking about? Well, we're talking about your Gatorade. Drink some aborted babies. Yes, seriously. We're talking about Lay's chips. Yeah, that's why they taste so good, don't they? Pepsi products, all right? Tropicana juices, Dasani water, Minute Maid. We have to not consume anything from these companies. And tell them that we're going to participate in their insane rituals.
Natural flavors. I always wondered what the hell that meant.
Good.
And now we know. And now we know why they push, well, abortion so hard. They mask everything as kindness. Everything they do, they mask as kindness. And they prey on the bleeding hearts of a certain type of individual. Because there's a lot of people out there that are just, you know, they're just all about their feelings, you know what I mean? And they just, you know, if they feel bad about anything, you know, like, no, we got to do this because we feel bad for people, and they just tug on those heartstrings of those people, and they can get those people to do anything. No, this is about women's rights. And, you know, sure, women's rights is great. You know, I'm not saying one way or another on this whole thing. But let's not pretend like the people pushing the agenda are doing it for the reasons that they're telling you, because they don't give a fuck about you. There's something in it for them, and now we know what it is. Besides, Hillary's, I've been saying for years, Hillary Clinton and all these people, they probably take a nice stem cell shake to get going in the morning. Another one for lunch. Another one for dinner with a small meal. You know what I mean? And the weird part about it is it a human ritual thing? Like, it's like they're making us do it. Not making us. I mean, you don't have to drink Gatorade if you don't want to. But it's in so many things. What they're claiming right here, I don't know, maybe they're lying, but what the claim is right here, that's in so many things, you couldn't even avoid it.
You're gonna have to Dutch shells every day, mother.
So is there something you'd have to look into, like some Aleister Crowley or something, to see what it consists of to be, I don't know, I'm going to call it a devil worshiper, into the whole Baphomet thing, what they would gain from having a population that's consuming other humans.
So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We need to eat the babies.
And it's all for flavoring. It's all for flavoring. So as long as it tastes good,
but it's therapeutic.
And that is the last one. So thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging in there for the whole thing. Assuming you did, I guess you wouldn't be here if you did, then.
Did you eat all this acid?
Yeah, if you didn't hit that sub button in the beginning, just go ahead and hit that sub button for me. Please just go ahead and do it real quick. I'm telling you, there's plenty more to come. We're going to try to go hard at this all the time. So hit that sub button. If you want to hit that like button, you liked it, just do me a favor, hit that like button as well. If you didn't like it, then just go ahead and keep it moving, bro, because I really don't want no beef with you, okay? Okay, that's all, folks.